My neighbor got mad at me for something I never did. The first knock happened at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was deep in the best dream of my life. Beach, no responsibilities, probably a smoothie involved, when someone started hammering on my front door like the building was on fire. I dragged myself downstairs, half conscious, opened the door, and my neighbor was standing there in a bathrobe with a look on her face that made me feel like I'd personally wronged her family for 3 generations. "Turn off your backyard light," she said. I nodded, shut the door, and went back to bed. I didn't even process it until the next morning, standing in my kitchen drinking coffee. I don't have a backyard light. My backyard is just grass and a broken rake I keep meaning to throw away. I shrugged it off, figured she was half asleep and confused, and went about my day. That same night she was back, except this time I was fully awake and she was fully committed. I opened the door, and before I could say anything, she pointed past me toward the back of the house and said, "The light, turn it off." "I don't have a backyard light," I told her. She looked me dead in the eyes and said if I didn't turn it off by morning, she was taking legal action over a light that does not exist, has never existed, and has no plans of existing. I closed the door, stood in my hallway for a second, and genuinely had no idea what to do with that information. Third night I waited. Same time, same knock, except this time she didn't come alone. She showed up with 2 police officers standing behind her like she was filing charges against my backyard. I just said, "Follow me," and walked them straight through the house and out the back door. We all stood there. Grass, broken rake, nothing. No light, not even the ghost of a light that used to exist. And my neighbor is standing in the middle of my yard, squinting, shielding her eyes from absolutely nothing, like she's staring into the sun. The 2 officers looked at each other. One of them pressed his lips together really tight. The other one suddenly needed to look at something on his notepad. False call. They walked her home. I stood in my kitchen thinking that was finally the end of it. It was not the end of it. She knocked again the next night, then the night after that, then the night after that. By day 6, I was running on 4 hours of sleep and filing a verbal harassment complaint, which gave the officers enough reason to actually look into her situation. What they found out is that she was schizophrenic. The light was never real. Not a misidentified reflection, not a neighbor's porch lamp hitting her window at a weird angle, not anything I had any part in. The light was never real. I sat with that for a while, and I genuinely felt terrible. So the next morning I walked over to her house, knocked on her door, and when she answered, I told her I was sorry for how frustrated I'd gotten, that I wished I'd understood sooner, and that I hoped she was going to get some help and feel better. She looked at me for a second, then she nodded, and we actually hugged it out on her front step. I walked home feeling like a legitimately good person for the first time in a week. Made dinner, watched some TV, got into bed, 11:47 p.m., knock knock knock.